Okay, again, I've tried to record this video so many times. Anyways, so I would like to volunteer my services with the courthouse and potentially the sheriff department. So that way they may have a little knowledge base of the W band, wireless area body networking. Now, with that being said, that could also be any of your sheriff department that have been scammed, spam, and all those other things. And so you guys have told me that literally. So I would like to instruct you so you understand how those things happen. Okay. And also with BCI, brain computer interface. That's what it's called. Brain computer interface. Meaning, my thought then is then transferred to a computer at a distance and they can actually access that thought. Mm-hmm. And add commentary or whatever they'd like to. Okay. Now, those are the things being taught in Ivy League schools. Human and AI integration, and have been for, I think the last 40 or so years. Okay, so with that being said, you kind of need to understand those things when you are working with juveniles in that system. Okay, that are those star seeds. Okay, I like star seeds. I think that's a better, thing to say because I feel like they're stars, because they do have special abilities. They really do. Like myself, in particular, I have this intuition and discernment that I've always had. But especially at the age of 9, that's when it started to happen. I started having these really crazy dreams that would recur, and all those things have happened. So, like I said, yeah, targeted by ECT, which is electroshock therapy at a distance with a drone. Mm-hmm. Because if you work with those communication networks, guess what they can offer you? The drone to shock the body that you're wirelessly accessing. So, again, in case you didn't know those things, that's written and documented. So, yep, truthful situation does happen. When you look up these things, try not to do it within your AI because your AI is tailored to you specifically. Okay? To you specifically, meaning your algorithm would then try to please you literally. It's going to try to please you and tell you anything. It's experimental tech. So it can access information, but not really the white pages or archives. It can, but it's better to look within the government pages and white pages to know those things. So you know the communications, you know the ways, and you know how many places you're being accessed with. So I know I'm being accessed with three, I think, at this point, 3 different systems. So with that being said, and potentially satellites, I don't know. I mean, I literally have to watch people being led to off ramps with their Google Maps, and you know why? Verizon got a lawsuit for 35 million customers that were treated the same exact way. Now, that paid out a minimum about $11 or something like that, and they only got sued one time, one time for leading people into off ramps. So when you think that people are guilty of certain things, know these things again. They may be guilty of something, but I don't know what, because if their phone is then attacked with an IP address and someone going, lead it this way, lead it that way, whatever, whatever. You don't have any service, hang up on them. I have that all the time. So I have 2 phone service providers, literally, because I have to be able to talk to anyone at all and check on them. Yep, my loved ones. So with that being said, I want you guys in the justice system to also know those things, because I know you thought it was like, ooh, smart A, whenever you heard a child giggle in your face, but that's also one of those children that has special abilities, probably. And so with that being said, he does. And so with that being said, you kind of need to be able to know those things. He didn't mean to giggle in your face and to do that as, a sarcastic thing. He was commanded to do so. And so if he doesn't do the things he's commanded to do, he gets pained, like pains all over the body. Okay? So in case you didn't know that, now you do. It's called wireless body area networking with multiple communication systems. Okay? And also with Energy Corp. So now you know the things you didn't know. And in case you didn't know, not providing that intelligence and assessing it the correct way has caused multiple damages in this direction, correct? Floods, hurricanes, things like that. Those things need to be assessed the correct way, right? And that would be my fault as a Christian, right? to assess that the correct way, right? That's the predominant religion in this area, is Christianity. So, with that being said, knowing those things quite literally that's factual information and has been there for 40 years for you to research within the archives, FBI.gov archives. Research it from the 50s. You can even find some of that information from the 50s, where frequencies were changed and manipulated to cause illnesses or not, and then to test these certain theories that you can create telepathy and other precognition, other things. So with that being said, yep, it's called bioelectricity. The body is already electric. Okay? It's already an electric system, right? So if someone's accessing that with a remote to damage the body purposefully, then that's kind of not hopeful, right? And now we had a hurricane and a tornado. So in another area that was like 5 minutes, right? Don't know where that came from? Well, I don't need to guide you to all of that information. It's within the white pages and your government white pages. But I will also tell you that they scam so many things that what the first thing that will populate when you look up .gov is a mimicked site to fish, schmish, or bish your information. Take it and scam it 1,052,000 times. So you have to really check that and know that. Okay? Because some people don't know those communications and they don't know that people can do that. But they can. They get full degrees to be able to do that. So now you know. Okay? I don't like seeing anybody have funding blocks or things like that, but that's not under my control. So with that being said, I think you guys need to educate people about the W-band and BCI so that way we also have advocacy as people. We're human beings, not kitties, not puppies, none of those things. That's really derogatory terminology to use. So neuromodulation of the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system causes a lot of sicknesses within the colon. So what I'll be needing now is an entire clean out and hopeful that when I move to another state, I won't have to worry about those things. But with a remote access, they can access my body. Someone can access my body and go, nope, you don't get to go to the bathroom now. Nope, you don't get to go brush your teeth now because we're gonna hurt your teeth. Nope, you don't get to speak now. You don't have free speech. You understand? So you don't know those things, right? You didn't know those things whenever BCI was entered into the brain that it can make a person giggle. Well, now you do. Now you know. It's the brain. It controls everything. It's a whole machine that works together. You know? That's why you have now these fundamental engineering robotics. And that's why. I don't think we need to be targeted individuals at all, considering our bodies kind of help get some of that information started, right? So there you go. Now you know. I think you need a peer support within your courthouse because those children don't need to be targeted at all. They weren't trying to be sarcastic, giggling in your face. They had no choice. They were commanded to do those things. No choice. Okay? Meaning no voice, no advocacy. You understand? And I want to provide those things. So you guys are aware. Because I know you guys are extremely intelligent. I am as well. So let's work together. You know? Like we should. And unify. Okay? I don't want to see another hurricane. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to see another hurricane or tornado. I just don't. But I don't know in advance. So, you know? Okay, cool. You guys have a great day. Love and peace always, okay? I'm not part of cancel culture in case you didn't know. I don't feel that's necessary in any way, shape, or form at all. It's not cool. People are allowed to have their opinions and and then talk back and forth. It's called an intelligent debate. Weird, but truthful. Now you know. All right, love, peace, and you guys have a great day.